Hi everyone, welcome to the Maker Swap. We have collaborated with 4 different makers to create totally unique projects, and you will get to see the behind the scenes videos. We'll also be having exclusive interviews with each small business so you can learn a little bit more about them and you can shop from them, whether it's a workshop, a gift for someone, or stocking up on your craft supplies. So first up, I've got this blank banner ready to decorate with our vinyls. So I'm going to add a nice detailed design on here, and I'll be passing this on to Hope from Bunny and Bloom Crafts, and she's going to embroider and embellish into it. So I cannot wait to see what she does with it. Very excited. Let's get crafting. So I've got my shapes all cut now and I'm ready to add them to my banner. So I'm going to be using the HappyPress 4 Auto Open in white to fuse them onto the banner. And here it is! So I've added the Happy Flex for the outline of the bee, for the hand cut leaves and the big flowers, and then Happy Flock for the rest of the floral details. So it's all ready to send off to Hope at Bunny and Bloom Crafts, and she's going to be embroidering and embellishing into it. So I cannot wait to see what she does with it.
Hi everybody! So I'm really excited that Hayley has asked me to get involved in their Maker Swap this year. So we came up with a couple of ideas. We both really like bees and flowers, of course. absolutely obsessed with flowers and lovely colours. So we came up with this design, and Hayley has printed it with using her HappyFabric vinyl onto this lovely banner here. So she's used different types, and I love this one. It's sort of like, I think it's the flock, my HappyFabric knowledge there. And I just absolutely love it. So now what I can do to this is I can embroider and embellish all over it. So I'm very, very excited. So instead of just going straight in with my heat erasable pen, I am going to take a picture of it and pop it onto Procreate. So I've got my iPad, my pen, my absolute life, and this means that I can just have a nice little doodle onto the picture rather than doodle all over this lovely banner and decide that I absolutely hate it. So I'm going to have a little doodle, so here we go. Okay, so I've had a little doodle. I think I know what I'm doing and where I'm going with it. So now I need to choose my colours. So I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. So I usually use my DMC ones. So DMC, trusty DMC, for any kits that I'm making. And they stay separate in one box. And then obviously when I'm having a little bit of fun, I use unbranded ones because I don't need to buy any more of them. Okay, so let's have a little flick through some colours. So I have traced my design onto the fabric here, and I've used a heat erasable pen. So that means that after, if I decide that I want to change anything, then I will just hair dry it and it'll be gone. So I've had a little play around with a couple of stitches, and I'd like to do that before I show you how I'm going to do it, in case I decide I absolutely hate the stitch. So I have played around with this sort of detached, kind of think it's similar to a satin stitch really. It's very, very simple. And then I've got a couple of little blue lazy daisies. So I'm going to show you how to do those 2 stitches now, and I may have a little play around with some of the stems here, so I'll probably use a bit of a back stitch to do those, but I will show you now, so enjoy. Now I'm going to do the rest of this in front of the TV because it is much more comfortable, and I will be back and show you what I have done. I'm literally in love with like how it's turned out.
I can't wait to see it. Oh my gosh.
It's so cute.
In the middle of the
Yeah, I put beads in the middle. I love adding beads to stuff now. I don't know why, but yeah, I love it. I think it's so cute.
I love that.
I really love it.
Very nice. How long did it take you?
I don't know. I think my video is like 6 minutes long. Obviously, it didn't take me 6 minutes. But I just like, I don't know, it's so weird when someone asks me like, oh my god, how long did it take you? I don't really track the time because half the time I just sit there and like do it while I watch telly. So I sort of didn't really I never really track the time. It's like, I don't know, like a couple of episodes of Modern Family, I suppose. Like that's like how I gauge it, because I don't really know.
Could you just tell us a little bit more about how you started and how you got into embroidery, really?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been like a little bit crafty and all of that. And I'm really close to my grandma, who is basically where I get all of that crazy craftiness from. And she just kind of taught me, I think she taught me how to cross stitch first. Because that's like, that's quite simple to do. And then I felt like I was sort of bound to the squares, and I just didn't like just doing the little X's. So I kind of just started like drawing up my own designs, and then I just really liked it, and I thought it was so satisfying to do, because it takes such a long time that like once you've done something, like if you've done like a petal, you're like, oh my god, it's taken me so long, but I love it. I think it's just like really rewarding. And then people just kind of, I just started posting it on Instagram, and then people were like, oh my god, I really like them. So I just kind of started to like do custom ones, and then realized it takes me a long time. And it's one of those, I don't want to like undersell what I'm making, but also it's hard to be like, okay, I'm charging like £7 an hour. It makes the embroidery really expensive, but I don't want to be like giving myself £2 an hour, you know? Yeah. So it's tricky that, but yeah, so I would say my grandma's definitely my inspiration for that.
Oh, that's so nice.
I still create like custom actual like pre-made embroideries, but like I said, they just take so much time and it's quite expensive for whoever's like buying it, really. And I just thought, you know what, it'd be actually really nice to like, why can't you create that at home? Like, and then it doesn't cost you so much. So yeah, that's kind of how the kits got started. I just made a couple up. And then they just went pretty crazy, which has been good.
That's so good. You have a Etsy store, don't you, with all of your kits?
Yeah.
So is there like one type of kit that you'd say that is for a beginner?
Well, I say most of my kits a beginner could do. I tend to keep them quite simple. That's kind of why I've started incorporating beads and stuff, because then it kind of eliminates that whole other like learning curve. I would say most of them are beginner friendly, but if you are absolutely like never touched a needle and thread in your whole entire life, I have got like an ultimate like beginners. Yeah, I've got like that one, which is like a Be Kind sort of beginners. So it's just like really, really basic. But yeah, most of them, if you are a little bit crafty, you've dabbled in a couple of things, you should be absolutely fine.
I've done one of your kits.
Oh yeah, oh my god. Oh, that's so good.
I sat there and did it like you said. I did it like quite a few episodes in, and
that looks so good.
I love how you can obviously learn the techniques, can't you? I remember opening my kit and seeing them, I was like, oh, I've never done that one before, but
yeah,
it's really nice to learn something new, like you say. Like on here, I think like the leaves and stuff, just simple stitches like that I'd never done before. So I was like, I've learned something new to like.
Yeah, exactly.
So, is there a project that you'd say that you've done that's really unusual, or like a large sort of project that you've done in
I was thinking about this because I kind of, when I first started, I was sort of wanting to embroider absolutely everything. So I did embroider like a pair of trousers, but it was kind of like the outline of like florals. What else have I done? Embroidered on a bit of denim. But nothing sort of like crazy. Kind of, it's easier, I would say, to stitch on cotton. Other fabrics can sometimes get really difficult. So I'd love to be able to stitch on like clothing and things, but you kind of get the issue of a lot of clothing is stretchy. And then like you'd be like sewing on it and then you'd let it out of the hoop and it would just go like Yeah, and then you're like, oh no, I just spent so long doing that. So I quite like it in the sort of hoop, because it kind of stretches the fabric out. You can get a cleaner sort of embroidery.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Your kits obviously will come with the hoop as well, don't they? So then they can also stay in the hoop, which is quite nice.
Yeah, people just like keep it in the hoop and just have it hanging up like a picture, really. I mean, you could stitch on a cushion and all of that, I suppose, but I just like them as pieces of art, on the wall.
Is there a certain stitch that is your favourite?
I quite like them all because they're quite versatile. I really like a back stitch. That is just so quick and easy to do. I love how a satin stitch turns out. So like this sort of like a satin stitch.
Wow, that looks good.
Yeah, so I absolutely love that, just because it's so clean, looks really nice, great for filling spaces.
Have you got any plans for 2021 or any new products that you're thinking of adding to your shop?
Yeah, I mean, I started adding sort of these kind of needle minders.
I love them.
Which I absolutely love. And obviously your needle just attaches right to it. And then obviously, I've also got a little rabbit that I'm going to bring out.
So cute.
I know, he is absolutely adorable. I've got a couple of new kits that I want to make. This one is going to be a sort of a new one. It's like a cactus one, which I'm really excited about. It's slightly different to what I have been doing. And my absolute favourite, I'm literally so excited about this. This is going to be my Easter one.
Oh, wow. That is really nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. But the only issue with this is you probably have to have embroidered before. I'm always really wary about, because I stitched this bunny years ago, and I was like, people aren't going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to say, oh, I want to buy this kit and I've never embroidered before. And I'm always wary about bringing something out like that, because I want it to be beginner friendly. But I mean, a beginner could do it. It would just take a little bit of time and you'd have to really learn the stitches. So yeah, this one's going to be kind of, you've embroidered before to kind of do this one. But
when will that be coming out?
It will probably be before Easter, I would say. So I would say beginning of March time. I usually work loads on my kits during half terms. Yeah. So obviously as a teacher, I don't get much time to do it in the term times. So half term is when I kind of smash out a load of designs and get stitching and start getting it all together. So it should be around kind of March time for the bunny stuff to come out, which I'm excited about. So yeah,
I'm excited for Easter crafting. That's my favourite time.
Yeah,
it's starting to get spring. I'm
oh, I love it. I absolutely love that as well.
Do you have any advice for other small businesses for this year and with everything going on?
Just think kind of stay true to what you really like. Because I found it really difficult because, when I first started this, there wasn't really a great deal of sort of embroidery businesses. And as it comes on, I always look at other embroidery businesses and think, oh, I think they're better than me. They've got a better style. But then I think actually I love what I do. So I think, just try and be confident that even if people aren't ordering from your small business, just keep going with it, do what inspires you, what you're really passionate about, and it will happen one day, really.